Welcome to Tri-Valley Sports Final, your program for the best in local sports action. On this week's show, Brandon Hahn leads the way as the Granada Matadors take on both Amador and Bishop O'Dowd in the North Coast Section Division I boys basketball playoffs. Jalen Smith lights it up as Amador battles the Liberty Lions in the NCS playoffs. And J.P. Oka is outstanding as the Brave Christian Lions face College Park in the NCS Division III playoffs. All that and much more right here on Tri-Valley Sports Final. Welcome back to Tri-Valley Sports Final. I'm Ian Bartholomew. On this week's show, we'll have action from the North Coast Section boys basketball playoffs. We'll see Granada take on both Amador and Bishop O'Dowd in Division I. We'll also see Amador face Liberty. Then we'll go to the Division III playoffs and see the Brave Christian Lions square off against College Park. But we start off tonight with a battle between two EBAL rivals, and to bring us that, it's my co-host, Tim Sabrani.
Thank you, Ian. So much great action, so little time. We'll get right into it. It was a chance to advance to the NCS Division I Boys Basketball Championship game as the second-seeded Amador Valley Dons hosted number 3 Granada. The teams met once during the regular season, with Amador coming out on top 50-44. And here you see the Matadors on the road, breaking the huddle, packed gym at Amador Valley High School, and there you see the Dons breaking the huddle, and a lot at stake in this one. And Jalen Smith will get the home crowd excited early, knocking down the tray. And then we would see the nice pass from Cade Kruger to Mena with the layup. Now Elijah Stanley picking up the loose ball, and he gets the dunk. So Amador Valley rolling early. And we see some great teamwork keeping them going. Stanley now hitting the three-pointer. So looked early on like the Dons may run away with it, but not when you have the big man Brandon Hahn getting the bucket inside for Granada. But Amador Valley has their own weapon there. Cade Kruger driving and scoring. So Amador Valley at this point, they're up 20-12 after one. But the Matadors would get things going in the second quarter. Brandon Hahn stepping out that time for a three-pointer. Now we see Hahn inside. Damian Miles with the layup. So the Matadors cut Amador Valley's lead to 1 at that point, 24-23. Jalen Smith with the response, three-pointer right there. And then we see Elijah Stanley. Look at the great defense. Takes it coast to coast and gets the dunk. But the Dons still clinging to a narrow 33-32 lead at the half. You see the cheerleaders, a little halftime performance entertainment. This would be a wild second half, and Granada early on taking the lead right there. Ethan Mitchell. Jalen Smith for Amador Valley, been such a great weapon all year and all 4 years, hitting the three-pointer there. Now Smith, he pulls up and hits another three. He would finish tonight with 17 points. Granada, though, up 43-42 as we enter the fourth. And there we see Hahn starting to take over inside, gets the layup there. Amador Valley and Elijah Stanley responding. At this point, Amador Valley up 50-45, but then it would be Hahn taking over the game. He gets the layup there for 2 of his 16 points. Then we see Damian Miles. Basket and the foul, three-point play. We're knotted up at 50 apiece with a minute 2 remaining. And then we see Johnson dribbling right there and is fouled. Calmly steps to the line. Freshman knocking down the full free throws. Granada up 2 at that point, and we see the Dons' last second desperation from Stanley, the three-pointer off the mark. The Granada fans storm the court, and that's what you do when you earn your ticket to the North Coast Section Championship, as Granada did right there. Brandon Hahn leading a balanced scoring attack as the Matadors advance. Afterwards, Granada's players said their defense in the second half was the key.
We knew we had to play like Granada, man. We started off a little sluggish. We came back in the second half with the intensity, and we played like Granada. We played like us. I love these boys, man. The only reason we lost is because we're a team. Like, if we weren't a team, an actual team, we would have lost. But We all love each other. We're all a team. We all fight through battles to each other. We all hang out with each other. We love each other. We're a team.
We go through things like this in practice, down 10, up 10, down 6, 3 minutes left. So we've been through this. We got a great coach that put us in great situations, and we go out there and you see what happens. We've been taking in our defensive pride all season. Even when we took L's, we got to play defense. We beat ourselves. So we just take pride on the defensive end, and we're not just going to let anybody go and get to the basket and go score on us.
Coach Q prepared us well, knowing it was going to come down to the last couple of minutes, and I think we knew where we were and how we play at the end, and yeah, it was great. Started on defense, and then we got our buckets off defense.
So an exciting game, but Granada ends up winning it in the end.
Yeah, Granada down 10 early, but they continued to battle back like they always do, claw back into the game. They finished the game up on an 8-0 run the last 2:45.
Well, and I think that was the real key right there. We saw the defensive stops late in the game, and the balanced scoring account. I mean, Hahn is such a threat inside, but they really do get a lot of contributions. And to see the freshman knock down critical free throws late, that's great to see.
Yep. Granada would advance to the Division I championship game against Bishop O'Dowd. Up next, we'll have highlights from that. Plus, we'll see Amador square off against Liberty for third place. Please stay with us. Welcome back to Tri-Valley Sports Final. The North Coast Section Division I Boys Basketball Championship was on the line recently as the third-seeded Granada Matadors faced the top-seeded Bishop O'Dowd Dragons. Granada entered the game looking for their second NCS Boys Basketball Championship in school history, while the Dragons were seeking their 20th. And we go out to San Leandro High School. Granada takes the court. They would start off quickly. Here, Q Johnson Jr., the freshman, lays it in. Moments later, Johnson takes the outlet from Brandon Hahn and kisses it off the glass. Dragons respond. Nas Griffin seals the inbounds and drives in for the dunk. At this point, Bishop O'Dowd leads 9-4. Granada answers. Hahn to Johnson, who drives and scores again. Now Johnson dribbles and feeds Ethan Mitchell for 3. That cuts the lead to 11-9. This time Hahn goes to work. Here he makes a nice move and buries the jumper. He would have a huge night. Moments later, the Matadors add to their total. Johnson with the great backdoor pass to Hahn, who lays it in. At the end of one, Granada leads 21-19. Second quarter, Hahn begins to dominate inside. Here he grabs the rebound and lays it in, drawing the foul for a three-point play. Now, Johnson dribbles. He goes baseline, creates some space, and hits the jumper. This time, Johnson inbounds. Jumper's off the mark, but Hahn pulls it down and lays it in. Matadors extend their lead to 10, 32-22. More Granada. Damian Miles sinks the jumper. Now, Ethan Mitchell feeds Hahn for the bucket. That makes it 36-26. Again, Hahn comes up big as he takes the inbound, spins and scores. O'Dowd keeps it close though. G.J. Hill-Thomas drives and flips it in. Now Griffin pulls up and drills the 3. He finished with 20 points. But Granada maintains their lead. Johnson gives to Hahn, who buries a 3-pointer. And just before the half, Jacob Green passes to Cordell Taylor, who attacks the basket, scores and draws the foul. 3-point play. At the intermission, the Matadors lead 44-37. Third quarter, Eric Thome gives to Hill-Thomas, who scores and draws a foul. That ties the game at 45. Granada comes right back. Damian Miles inside to Hahn, who lays it in. Moments later, that same combination does it again. Miles to Hahn. And one more time, Hahn continues to dominate in the paint as he spins and banks it in. But O'Dowd would take the lead. Aaron Casquiero sinks a 3. At the end of 3, Dragons lead 58-55. Fourth quarter now, Q Johnson buries the circus shot. Now Johnson feeds Hahn, who gets it to drop. And this time Miles passes out to Ethan Mitchell. 4-3. Mitchell finished with 8 points. With 6 minutes left, Granada trails by 2, 64-62. More Matadors. Johnson drives, misses, but Hahn is there for the follow. Now Miles gives to Hahn, who pulls up and nails the jumper. With 2:50 left, Granada jumps on top, 68-67. After an O'Dowd basket, Johnson dribbles and hooks it in. Mats lead 70-69. Johnson finished with 18. The lead would grow to 4 on this Hahn jump hook. He had 36 points. Now under 40 seconds left, Dragons down 3. Caden Gibbs scores. That cuts the lead to 1, 76-75. A turnover would give the ball back to O'Dowd. Under 10 seconds left, Hill Thomas gets it to drop. Dragons jump back on top, 77-76. Final seconds now. Gibbs steals the inbounds, feeds Gil Thomas for the layup at the buzzer. That seals it. The Dragons rush the court to celebrate. Coach Q, meanwhile, accepts the second place banner for Granada, an outstanding season for them. And there are the Matadors with their medals. Bishop O'Dowd edges Granada 79-76. There you see the final score as the Dragons win the title. Brandon Hahn, meanwhile, was outstanding in defeat, pacing the Matadors with 36 points and 17 boards. Great effort by both teams, but the Dragons are the win.
Yeah, what a monster game by Hahn and Johnson as well. O'Dowd, just too many weapons, but Granada so much to be proud of, and just to see them make that kind of a run this year, probably a year earlier than a lot of people expected.
Exactly, yeah.
This is a team geared up, so I can only imagine how great this team's even going to be even next year. They'll be back, I think, for that title. But we're going to go from the Division I championship game to the third place game. This is a pivotal contest because the winner would earn a NorCal playoff spot. Amador Valley Dons taking on the 4th-seeded Liberty Lions. And there you see the Dons breaking the huddle. As we said at the outset, a lot at stake, even though it's a third place game, trying to make that CIF state tournament. And here to get them going, as he does so often, it would be Jalen Smith pulling up off the dribble, knocking down the tray. Now we see Smith again dribbling, pressure up top, passes inside. Brooke Meta gets the easy layup there. Now we see Smith again in transition, draws the traffic, gets it to Kruger. Now Dante Ventura on the wing. He knocks down the three-pointer. Great ball movement by the Dons. This time we see Smith again, drawing the pressure inside, kicks it back out to Ventura, who finds his sweet spot on the wing. Another 3 for him. Dons up early. But again, this would be such a big game. You know Liberty would bounce back. We see it there. Andrew Rendon Ibarra with the layup. And Amador Valley in transition. Adam Kahn gets it. Elijah Stanley, good job. Jumper from the wing. Amador Valley up 14-6 after the first quarter. Second quarter now, we see Jalen Smith in traffic, collects himself in the lane. 3 guys on him, still manages to get the layup. Now Smith again, pressure, gets it to Eli Pace, kicks it over to Kruger, back to Smith, drives in the paint, under pressure, knocks down another jumper. He's having a big night. He's Mr. Everything for the Dons in this one. Now we see Smith dribbling, kicks it out. Adam Kahn shows that this offense has multiple threats. He hits the 3 there. But of course, Liberty would not go away. Jaden Miller pulls up for a 3-point basket of his own. And we're gonna see Miller, this time on the defensive end, getting the steal. He passes it up ahead to Jaden Valverde, who gets the layup. So Liberty staying in it. But Amador Valley would end up prevailing. Here we see Dante Ventura, a big night for him. He knocks down another 3-pointer, and Amador Valley would go on to win the game. You see the score there. Dante Ventura, Jalen Smith combining for 29 points, and the Dons earn themselves a NorCal playoff berth, and they would play well at NorCal, advancing all the way to the Division II semifinals before losing at Oakland Tech 74-71. Cade Kruger pacing the Dons at 28 points, while Jalen Smith, 21. So a great playoff performance and a great season for Amador Valley.
Yeah, in NorCal, Amador defeated Sarah. Then they went up to Sacramento, beat the Dragons, who were the 2nd seed, and then took Oakland Tech to the limit.
All the way to the end.
Yep.
Yeah, all out of the 3rd place game. You know, so it shows that was a pivotal win. They had to have it, and they got it done.
And that's going to do it for Division I. Up next, we're going to go to the NCS Division III playoffs as the Brave Christian Lions take on College Park. Please stay with us. Welcome back to Tri-Valley Sports Final. It's been a great year for the Brave Christian boys basketball team. The school, formerly known as Valley Christian, had their best season ever as they went undefeated in league play and won 22 regular season games. The Lions then continued that success in the NCS Division III playoffs, defeating both St. Patrick St. Vincent and San Domenico before falling in the semis to top-seeded Branson. That loss put Brave Christian in a 3rd place matchup against College Park. The winner would advance to the NorCal playoffs. We go to Dublin. Brave Christian huddles with their head coach, Joe Fuca. Lions with a commanding lead as we start the 4th quarter. Raymond Hudnall passes to Mason Reth. He drives the lane. His shot rolls out, but 6'9" freshman J.P. Oka battles for the rebound, lays it in, and is fouled. Oka would convert the 3-point play. He would have a huge night. Moments later, Hudnall passes to Reth, inside to Oka for the 15-footer. He had 32 points. He's averaging 19 a game. Falcons try to battle back behind their star sophomore, Miles Cooper. He had 16 here with the 3. Lions, though, answer with their super sophomore, Adama Kone. Here taking the pass from Tyler Rodriguez and banking it in. Now Brave Christian shows off their defense. Mason Reth steals. He pushes it up court and feeds Kone for the alley-oop. Kone had 4 points in the game, go along with 15 rebounds. He's averaging 16 points and 9 boards a game. Lions continue to light it up as Arthur Tran breaks the trap and gets it to Tyler Rodriguez, who dribbles and banks it in. The lead grows to 23. And to close things out, the sophomore, Rodriguez, passes ahead to freshman Jaden McCadia, who sinks it at the buzzer. After the game, both teams display good sportsmanship as Brave Christian rolls past College Park 64-39. J.P. Oka scores 32 points and pulls down 12 rebounds as the Lions win. Afterwards, Oka, Adama Kone, and Brave Christian head coach Joe Fuca said defense has been important to their team's success.
Really good, good. We lost the semi-final, but we come here for the 3rd place and then we won today. So all defense, great defense every time, everywhere. That's a key. That's a good experience for me, my freshman year, and then I'm going to state. That's a good experience for me.
The year has been great. We have a lot of, our team is pretty good. We have a lot of great talent to this team. We've been working hard. We have a good coach, good staff members. We've just been working hard on defense. Our team is all about defense. We've been working hard on defense, so our offense just comes natural to us. And this season has been the greatest season in this school yet. And we hope to make it far in state. It's all about defense. This is how we get our points, fast breaks. We're pretty athletic and fast, so we just block the shot, and then we give it to our point guards. They give us back, and that's an easy layup. So it's all about the defense, man.
What a great year to be able to qualify for the state playoffs. 26 wins. I think we had 14 wins in the last 5 years as a school. So 26 wins in the first season is pretty cool. Kids played great tonight. They were tested by a Division I team with 2,000 kids at that school. We have 140. And anyways, the kids played great. We worked really hard all season to get to this point. The keys are really our defense. Our guards were all over the place tonight. I think we turned them over 20 times. That's kind of how we played all year long. We're 13-0 in our own building because of defense. And so the key really is all the guards with their pressure, and then we have these 2 wonderful bigs that block shots. And I think we probably had 7 or 8 block shots tonight.
Lions would advance to the NorCal Division III playoffs as the 10 seed. There they would lose at number 7 Los Gatos 59-46. And Los Gatos, another big school, around 2,000 kids. So a great playoff run for the Lions. They only have one senior and should be even better next year.
Yeah, you look at that noise that they made this year, making it all the way to Division III. There's less than 200 students at that school. So just a remarkable, one of the best turnaround stories in the Tri-Valley this entire year. And we'll look forward to watching them in the years to come. We'll be back with more, including our Tri-Valley Sports Final Athletes of the Week, right after these messages, so please stay with us.
Our Tri-Valley Sports Final Athletes of the Week are Granada basketball player Quaron Johnson Jr. and Amador basketball player Cade Kruger. Only a freshman, Johnson has played like a 4-year starting senior. He helped lead the Matadors to the NCS Division I title game. Among his top scoring games were 18 points against Bishop O'Dowd, 15 against Livermore, and 11 against Amador and Dublin. A San Jose State signee, Kruger, meanwhile, helped lead the Dons to the NorCal Division II semifinals. Among his top efforts were 28 points versus Oakland Tech, 27 versus San Ramon Valley, and 17 versus Doherty Valley. For their excellence on the court, Q Johnson Jr. and Cade Kruger are our Tri-Valley Sports Final Athletes of the Week. Congratulations to them. In our next show, we will start to wrap up the wrestling season. We'll have highlights from both the EBAL boys and girls championships. And as expected, a lot of our wrestlers turned in impressive performances.
Yeah, you know, another banner year for Tri-Valley athletes in winter sports. I mean, we saw with our basketball teams pushing to the highest levels of the NCS and NorCal playoffs, and we're going to see the same thing with wrestling. We just have outstanding wrestlers, both males and females, so we'll have the action from both of those league tournaments and then carry that on into NCS.
Absolutely, and that will do it for this edition of Tri-Valley Sports Final. For Tim Sabrani, I'm Ian Bartholomew. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.